Hi there. It's November 22nd and time for Proverbs 22. Jump over there. Still in the Young's literal translation from 1898. Some of the old languages in here. And we got the Holman Christian Standard over here just in case anything confuses us, right? Okay. A good name is chosen rather than much wealth, than silver, and then gold. Good grace. Favor is better than silver and gold, it says over here. Right? Reputation is more important than wealth. Okay? 2, the rich and the poor have met together. The maker of them all is Jehovah. Right? They have this in common, it says over there. The prudent hath seen the evil and is hidden, and the simple have passed on and are punished. Right? We'll make that already highlighted over here. A sensible person sees danger and takes cover, but the inexperienced keep going and are punished, right? Let's go blundering ahead, right? They do that. For the end of humility is the fear of Jehovah, riches, honor, and life. Now that's an important one, right? The end of humility, the result, right? The result of being humble and fearing is fearing the Lord, right? Along with wealth, honor, and life. Riches, honor, and life will come from being humble and fearing the Lord. Got that? That's an important verse. Take that to heart. 5 thorns, snares are in the way of the perverse. Whoso is keeping his soul is far from them. Right? There are thorns and snares in the path of the crooked. The one who guards himself stays far from them. Right? You see this stuff and you stay away from it, right? Right? Like all these protests going on in town and people being stupid fools. 6, give instruction to a youth about his way, even when he is old, he turneth not from it. Right? And that verse has been used a lot, okay? Teach children while they're young about God's way, right? And the way they should go. Right? Give instruction to a youth about his way. Teach children about right and wrong, the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not turn from it. Right? We'll always come back to it. And you can see the people that were not given instruction in their youth, right? 7, the rich over the poor ruleth, and the servant is the borrower to the lender. Slave, it says over here. Okay? Unfortunately, most, if not all of us, there are a few, right? But most of us are in debt, okay? We have mortgages, we have credit card bills, okay? They make us pay for our electricity and our gas and many times our water, unless you have a well. You're slaves to these people, okay? They rule over you. Credit cards, mortgages, we are all slaves. Slaves to the lender. It's a sad state of affairs. Satan has made the world so you have to be a slave, okay? 8, whoso is sowing perverseness reapeth sorrow, and the rod of his anger weareth out. Whoso is sowing perverseness reapeth sorrow. The one who sows injustice will reap disaster, and the rod of his fury will be destroyed. Okay? You believe in that, right? 9, the good of eye, he is blessed, for he hath given of his bread to the poor. The good of eye, a generous person, right, will be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. Okay? And it says all over, if you share your food with the poor, God will pay you back with interest every time. Every time. 10. Cast out a scorner or a mocker, and contention goeth out, and strife and shame cease. Right? Quarreling and dishonor cease if you drive out the mocker. Conflict goes. Get away from those kind of people, mockers. Just get yourself some peace, right? 11. Whoso is loving cleanness of heart, grace are his lips. A king is his friend. Wow. The one who loves a pure heart and gracious lips, the king is his friend. Okay. 12. The eyes of Jehovah have kept knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the treacherous. The Lord keeps watch over knowledge, right? Sooner or later, all these liars are going to get found out, okay? They will. Right. 13. The slothful hath said, a lion is without, in the midst of the broad places. I am slain. There's a lion in the square. I can't go out there. Right. Any excuse, right? Any excuse. I'll be killed if I go outside. There's a lot of people like that, too. 14. A deep pit is the mouth of strange women. The abhorred of Jehovah falleth there. Abhorred of Jehovah. A man cursed by the Lord will fall into it. The mouth of a forbidden woman is a deep pit. Right. Stay home. It says stay home and play in your own backyard. It says that in other parts of Proverbs. Right? 15. Folly is bound up in the heart of youth. The rod of chastisement pulleth it far from him. That foolishness is bound up in the heart of youth. Discipline, the rod of chastisement, spanking them will drive it far from them. It's important. 16. He is oppressing the poor to multiply to him. He is giving to the rich only to want. Oppressing the poor to enrich oneself and giving to the rich both lead only to poverty. Right. Some people do that. Oppress the poor to enrich themselves. 17. Incline thine ear and hear words of the wise, and thy heart set to my knowledge. Okay. Now this is words of the wise. A separate section over here. Okay. So this is like the beginning. Listen to me. Right? Listen to me. Hear the words of the wise, and thy heart set to my knowledge. Right? Apply your mind to my knowledge. For they are pleasant when thou dost keep them in thy heart, and they are prepared together for thy lips, that thy trust may be in Jehovah. I cause thee to know today, even now, have I not written thee 3 times with counsels and knowledge. Okay. 3 times, that's 30 sayings, okay? 30 sayings. Okay. To cause thee to know the certainty of things, sayings of truth, to return sayings of truth to those sending thee. Right. In order to teach you reliable words so that you may give a dependable report to those who sent you. Okay, 30 sayings. In other translations, it says you are supposed to memorize these and have them ready on your lips at any time. Right? Okay, and it starts here. And I highlighted these 30 sayings. It takes about 3 chapters to get through them, okay? And I said last month I was going to write these in numbered in plain English so we could have a list, but I haven't done that yet, but I will. Okay, starts at 22. Rob not the poor because he is poor, and bruise not the afflicted in the gate. For Jehovah pleadeth their cause, and hath spoiled the soul of their spoilers. Okay? That's one Okay? Don't rob the poor because he is poor, and bruise not the afflicted at the gate. For God pleads their case. Okay? Shew not thyself friendly with an angry man, and with a man of fury go not in, lest thou learn his path, and have received a snare to thy soul. That. Don't hang out with angry people, or you'll be like them, okay? There are people, now some people get angry, okay? You get upset, and that's understandable, but some people are always angry. They are never happy. Nothing makes them happy. Right? And it says don't hang around with people like that, okay? It's kind of like poison. It'll just get into you. And hey, or 3. Be thou not among those striking hands, among sureties for burdens. If thou hast nothing to pay, why doth he take thy bet from under thee? Right. Again, do not co-sign for somebody else's loan. Okay? If they can't pay, and if you can't pay, they're going to come after you and take your stuff and garnish your wages. Okay? 28. Remove not a border from olden times that thy fathers have made. Right? They used to. Property used to pass down from generation to generation, and there's a lot of farms and stuff. It still does. But and they used to like to move the borders, plant an extra row over there. Hopefully they didn't notice, but. Right. And 29. This is 1, 2, 3. And this is number 5. Hast thou seen a man speedy in his business? Before kings he doth station himself. He stations not himself before obscure men. Right. Do you see somebody really good at what they do? He will stand in the presence of kings. He will not stand in the presence of unknown men. Right. There are people that are very, very good at what they do, very skilled. Right. And they hang out before, it says kings over here, and they will not hang out before nobodies, obscure people. So there you go. That's Proverbs 22 and the first 5 of the 30 sayings that we're supposed to memorize, right? And some of them are common sense, so you just have that ingrained in you. Right? So what else do we highlight? Highlighted 3. The prudent has seen evil and is hidden, and the simple have passed on and are punished. Right? A sensible person sees danger and takes cover. Right? Don't go there. Okay, 4 is important. The end of humility is the fear of Jehovah. Riches, honor, and life. Right? The result, the end, which means the result of humility, right, of being humble, is fear of the Lord, fear of Jehovah, right? Riches, honor, and life, along with wealth, honor, and life, right? So the most important is being humble. The result of being humble is to fear the Lord. It's important, right? You cannot fear the Lord without being humble, okay? I highlighted 6. Give instruction to the youth about his way, even when he is old. He turneth not from it, right? Teach the youth. Teach them when they're young the way they should go. Right? When they're old, they'll remember it, okay? All right. Even the prodigal son, right? He was taught when he was young, and he went out and did lots of stupid things, but then he remembered, my father is a fair man, right? And I will go back and ask him to be his servant, right? They always return. And this one's important. Not important, it's a fact of life. The rich over the poor ruleth, and a servant is is the borrower to the lender, a slave, right? The borrower is slave to the lender, right? If you don't pay your bills, they're going to come and take everything you have. And most of us, there are a few very wise people who are debt-free, right? But even them have to pay their electric bill, right? They have to pay their gas bill. And if they don't, they'll shut their electric off. So in these days, everybody is a borrower, is a slave to a lender, right? Didn't used to be that way, right? When you use candles and oil for lights and had a piece of property that they didn't tax, but even back then they had taxes they had to pay. No, right? Highlighted 15, folly is bound up in the heart of a youth. The rod of chastisement putteth it far from him. Discipline your children while they are young, because foolishness is bound up in their hearts. They're going to see what they can get away with. And if you let them get away with things when they're young, they will think they can get away with them when they are old, when they cannot. The world is a cruel place, right? Right. And as have I not written thee 3 times with counsels and knowledge, 30 wise sayings, it says. Right? And there's the first 5 of the 30. Don't rob the poor because he is poor, and bruise not the afflicted at the gate, for Jehovah pleaded their cause and has spoiled the soul of their spoilers. Right? Right. Don't rob a poor man because he is poor, and don't crush the oppressed at the gate, for the Lord will take up their case and will plunder those who plunder them. Got that? That's number 1. Number 2, don't hang around with angry people, or the man of fury go not in, lest thou learn his paths, and have received a snare to thy soul. Right? And you could tell some people, they're permanent scowls, and they're always mad at every little thing, right? No matter what. Don't hang around with people like that, okay? Don't hang around with people like that, okay? Number 3, be not thou among those striking hands among sureties for burdens. If thou hast nothing to pay, why doth he take thy bed from under thee? Right. If you co-sign for somebody's loan, if they don't pay and they come after you and you don't pay, they're going to take your stuff. Why should they take your stuff when it's not your loan? Number 4, remove not a border from olden times that thy fathers have made. Right? Don't move an ancient boundary marker that your fathers set up. Okay? Not so much an issue anymore, but there still are farmlands and stuff. And then number 5, hast thou seen a man speedy in his business, skilled? Before kings he doth station himself, he stations not himself before obscure men. Right? We could read that over here. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand in the presence of kings. He will not stand in the presence of unknown men. So, there you go. That's today and tomorrow. See? There's still, and that's all part of the 30 things. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right. So, 15 tomorrow. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 22 and the start of the 30 sayings. You're supposed to have these memorized and have them always ready on your lips. It's not as hard as you think. A lot of them, it's just common sense, okay? But I'll write them down anyways. So, but there you go. Stay tuned later today. We are on day 327, okay? And I think we're in the epistles, one of Galatians or something like that, for a couple of days, and then back into Acts. They're trying to put the letters in and keep the storyline going. So, but we're going to be finished with that by the end of the year, so not long left. So stay tuned for that. But give us a like if you think about it. But until later, we'll keep going. See you then.